Okay. Well, it's great to meet you, man. Thank you so much for taking a minute out today. I
My
appreciate it.
pleasure, Joe. Yeah, my pleasure.
So
Go
let's
for it.
hop into your world here, and we're going to begin this way. 6 years ago, this pandemic was changing our lives. How did you get through that era, and how has it changed the way that you do things today?
Well, you know what? It taught me how to work from home.
Yeah.
Uh, it almost forced me. Now I realized it's like, why was I driving 2 hour round trip to go to my office? Why was I paying for an office? Why was I paying for a cleaning crew? My staff wasn't even using the office. It was just like a 2,500 square foot office building for me. So it really opened my eyes that I don't need an office.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about if I put you in front of a bunch of 12-year-olds at career day and they
Mm.
wanted to get a handle on what you do for a living, to
Yeah.
break it down, to synthesize it, how do you explain what you do every day?
Kids, what I do is I buy that land. You see it's vacant over there. There's nothing on that land whatsoever. I buy that land. Sometimes I just flip it to someone that wants to build on it. And sometimes I put a brand new mobile home on that land so a family can have a nice, affordable home that they can buy from us. So I buy land and flip it to where I sell it to someone else for more than what I paid, or I buy that land at a discount and I put a brand new mobile home on it and I sell it as a land mobile home package.
So you're a coach as well and you used to be in the Army, correct?
Yes, sir, both. Yep, you got
Okay.
that right.
So talk to me a little bit about what you wanted to be when you were 12 years old. What was your dream job when you grew up?
I wanted to own real estate. I wanted to be a real estate investor. I wanted to be like Donald Trump. I was reading his books in middle school.
Okay. So this has always been in the stars for you.
Oh, yeah.
So how did this happen? Take me where are you from Florida originally?
Yep, I'm from Florida. Yep.
Okay. So take me back to the beginnings. What were you seeing around you? What was happening? What were the seeds that were sown that grew into this real estate dream?
Yeah, my parents worked extremely hard. They both had jobs, but it was just like my dad drove a car with a hole in the floorboard. We used to have fun as kids. It was really loud. It had like no exhaust, and we would drop beer cans out of the floorboard. But I saw my parents work very hard for other people. So I was like, I'm going to be a business owner and I'm going to own real estate because that's like where 90% of these people have gotten rich from was owning real estate. I didn't realize that it took a long period. Like you can't just get in real estate and get rich right away, but it's a long, slow process. There's a great book called The Wealthy Gardener. It kind of talks a lot about it. But my wife said the other day, she's like, I finally understand real estate. It's a patience game.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was the first property that you that really made you feel like you made the right choice? It was really the eureka moment. Did you have that?
Oh, yeah, it was several properties into that. The first one, I was like, I definitely screwed up on this one. The first property that I made my right choice was 2013. After I had come back from my second deployment to Afghanistan, the Army sent me to college, and I bought a house with my VA loan. It was a bank-owned foreclosure. Just a real dump on the inside. My mom and dad both came over and helped me scrub walls and floors, and I still remember my mom and they're just scrubbing away underneath the cabinets. And then I had some roommates move in, and I had a female roommate, and she actually unpacked my entire house because I had furniture from Germany. When I lived in Germany, the army shipped it all back for me, and I was like, "Holy cow! People are paying me to live here. I live here for free just because I was able to put all this together."
Yeah.
And I basically keep my what I would be paying for my mortgage payment in my pocket, and I took the equity from that house and I bought a second house with it, all cash. Well, I should say all cash. I did a cash out refinance from my house that I had two roommates in, and I was like, this is how real estate's done.
Yeah. So when you started making money, did you make a big purchase? Did you get yourself something that you always wanted? Was that
Heck
number
yeah.
what'd you get? What was it? When was it?
Well, I kind of have a reason. Well, everyone has a reason, honestly. There's a little. Let me put a little context behind it. I had been married for since 2007, and my ex-wife left on my second deployment to Afghanistan. So I was a little bit heartbroken, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy a motorcycle. I've always wanted a motorcycle. I also bought an Audi A5. I was like, I'm never going to be this young and awesome again. So I was like, I can't take the money with me. So yeah, I went and spent that money and had a blast with it.
That's awesome. So who's your hero? Who's been your inspirational force that's allowed you to get to this point in your life?
I have a lot of heroes, a lot of coaches. I'll start with like Henry Ford and Abraham Lincoln, Jesus. You might think this is crazy, but I visualize myself now. This is something I've just gotten into. They talk about this a little bit in Think and Grow Rich, but I visualize myself talking to these great people,
Yeah.
like asking them questions. I just sit there quietly with my eyes closed, um, and just imagine I'm getting to talk to like Steve Jobs and like harness like because I truly believe that we can tap into an energy of success.
Yeah.
We don't have to have all the right answers. Now, I just recently started this. I've always just worked hard and burnt the candle at both ends. I think it's combined with those two things. Um, but I'd never shared that with anybody actually. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of heroes. There's a lot of people. There's great podcasts out there. Another guy that always comes to mind is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
This guy couldn't speak very well, came to the United States, and is like governor of California, superstar, very wealthy from real estate. So it's just, I mean, look, like if anybody can do this.
They do say that if you do manifest those conversations, those positive thoughts, it just becomes a part of who you are. It makes you stronger. It makes you better. It's definitely a mentality. And none of that sounds out of bounds at all. It makes total sense to me because that's how people do it. You got to dream. You got to put it out there, you know?
Well, that's famous athletes do it. They
Yeah.
picture themselves catching that ball and
Hmm.
running to the end zone. They see it before it even happens. And I just started this like within the last about 6 or 8 months ago. It's quite powerful, but we get what we focus on. I have always focused on scarcity and lack and what can go wrong and all the negatives, and we get what we focus on.
Yeah.
So I have made a lot of mistakes. I've lost lots of money along the way. I've made a lot as well. So I'm now like, okay, why don't we just focus on, the good things and what can happen and see it as if it's already done and feel the emotion. That's the powerful part. You got to feel that emotion. Like right now, what am I visualizing? I'm having to go back all the way to 2021 for my taxes. It has been hell, honestly. Line by line, expense by expense, dollar by dollar, property by property on multiple partnerships. And I'm just picturing it being done.
Yeah.
And I am so happy when I do that. So
Yeah.
happy.
For
I was
sure.
just doing that right before we got on this call. Like,
Yeah.
not
That would.
picturing it, but the arduous task of it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for sure. So let me ask you this. What is it that motivates you? Obviously, going line by line, you get a portal into what you've done, what your business is. What gets you up every day to do this work, to take care of your own soul, and to do it at a high level?
Yeah, I really enjoy coaching people. I have an absolute wonderful time getting to see people change their lives and get that first deal in. I have three amazing children, an amazing wife. We're going four-wheeler racing this weekend. We're going camping. I'm about to go get firewood after this. I like having fun. And, my whole goal is to get the money part out of the way as quick as humanly possible, but have fun doing it. Like I'm not driving like a 1984 Honda Civic. Like we can live well and do well and give. Um, but I just basically I want to get the money completely out of the way so I can do the service that God wants me to do. And I don't 100% know what that is yet. I've always enjoyed business, so I've just ran with it.
So where does your brain go when you see that big word retirement in the sky?
Oh
What?
man, surfing in Costa Rica, still doing real estate deals from overseas. I don't see myself ever sitting in retirement. However, like I do, like, okay, I would want to read more fiction, like
Yeah.
read more, like this is a John Grisham book, The Reckoning. I haven't read it yet, but I've got it sitting right next to me because this weekend I want to at least read 10 or 12 pages of it and just have sit by the fire or sit by the camper and just have a coffee and read. That's what I see as retirement, having more time for things like that, working out, racing four-wheelers, hunting in Colorado. That's retirement for me.
So my stepdaughter during the pandemic, because when that happened, my son and stepdaughter would be there within. I had interviews with jazz musicians during that time, and there was one guy that was a New York City pianist. He moved to Costa Rica, sold everything, and became a surfer. And I remember when we were on that call, dude, you could hear the macaws and the surf in the background, and she to this day talks about that over anything that she heard during that time. So when you said that, you instantly took me back to that memory. It was so cool, man. You
Yeah,
know?
it's amazing out in Costa Rica. Our next place we're going to check out is Nicaragua. I have a hard time saying that word.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. So let me ask you this. If you walked into a room, if you had a dream and you were 18 years old in that room and you walked in and you had a book and you handed it over and it was your life, it was like a coffee table book. Would that young version of you believe that you lived this life, that you've done all of this?
No, no, I never would have even dreamed it. Never would have even dreamed it.
Would you give advice to that young version?
Yeah, I absolutely would. It's the same advice that I thought about this morning is slow down a little bit. Not everything's on fire. You're not in the military. No one's gonna shoot you, cook you, and eat you if you don't hustle. Like, just slow down a little bit. Slow down. Take the time to enjoy the things that are happening with you, like, kids waking up in the morning and not just hustling them along to school so you can start the day and try and do the 10,000 things you need to do. Um, Let the cell phone ring, let the messages go to messages, let the voicemails go to voicemail. If it's Sunday or Saturday, it can wait till next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of advice.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this. Somebody doing something nice for you can become a flashpoint and change your life. What's one of the nicest things that somebody's done for you in your life?
Gosh, there's been so much. I'll just say my dear sweet wife, now Emily, I would say one of the nicest things she has done is just putting up with me all these years, with my hair on fire, going to the next crazy idea with me. And, sometimes I get bad moods and I lose my temper and I have a million things going and we take it out on the people we love. So I would say she's probably been the nicest one ever to me because she knows me better than anybody.
So you've traveled around the globe, you've been to many different places. What's one of the most magically enchanting, unexpected places that you've been to?
Oh man, I would say Costa Rica was one. Bamberg, Germany was one that I actually lived there for a little while in the military. Those are two of the places.
So at the end of the day, of everything that you've done and accomplished, what are you the proudest of? What rises to the top? Aside from your family, when you look at your professional career, what are you the happiest about?
I've coached over 700 people now at this point on how to start land investing companies. And I would say that because those, I mean, there's several that have done over $1 million a year. I mean, those guys have changed legacies for them and their families, been able to quit jobs that they hated, build retirement accounts, give to, orphans, start missionaries, things like that, support other people. So it's been a heck of a ripple effect. So I would say the coaching side of things.
So when did you realize coaching was the thing for you? You're successful with real estate, you're doing this, but you start giving back and helping people. When was it a client? Was it a moment? What was the eureka moment?
Yeah, it was 2018. I had plenty of time and I was giving free advice and going to coffee appointments with so many people, but they weren't really doing anything with it. And I had a coach that was coaching me. He's like, "How's the land business? How's coaching it?" And I was like, "Man, no one's doing anything with it." He's like, "Well, how much do you charge?" And I was like, "No, I don't charge anything. Like, most of the time I'm paying for the coffee too when we meet." And he goes, "Well, that's the reason they're not doing anything with it. They don't have any skin in the game. They can just go on YouTube and get free information and then not do anything with that." So the next guy was like, "How much?" I was like, "Whoa, it was so crazy. It's almost like I manifested. Like, no one had ever offered to pay me." I said $1,000, and I was like, he's going to say no. I had the worst feeling in my stomach. It made me scared to say that. And I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on this education that I've gotten in coaching and seminars. And he paid me right away with like a PayPal link. And that guy lives in Maui right now with his 4 children and his wife. But that was the eureka moment, was You charge someone something and then they take action. But I walked him through step by step. I didn't even know how to coach somebody. I was just giving him what I was doing. I'd say, hey, finish this, call me back. And he would call me back like an hour later. I'm like, oh my God. Like, it was stressful. And I took 16 people on at one time. And then we built the course around that, got all of them their first land deal. But I guess the eureka moment was, this is really cool. Like, showing someone how to use this tool and they get a result. And most of the time, this took me a couple years to accept this, they were doing better than I was.
Wow.
So I kept raising my bar to try and be as good as them. But now it's like, I don't give a crap. Like, if they do better than me, that's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Brent, everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, everyone you coach, everyone that's a part of your world, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Ooh, I'm just a normal dude. Sometimes like this morning, I didn't want to wake up. I pushed myself out of bed, went to go to the gym, and I'm glad I did it, but I struggle too, I like to just hang out and relax and do fun things. And, I think we're all just trying to get through this world together.
For sure. So if anyone wants to reach out, any of the good business, where do they go? Questions, hiring, any of that, where do they go?
Real easy to find me on YouTube, Brent L. Bowers. If they want to schedule a call, go to thelandsharks.com. I'll get on my calendar, and I'd love to answer any questions or hear your real estate goals, or maybe you're interested in learning land or land development with mobile homes. I'd be happy to chat with you. We also sell discount affordable brand new mobile homes. We're the cheapest in Florida.
Okay. I will put all these links in the show notes. Brent, what a joy, man. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your story. Best of luck with everything.
God bless, Joe. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.